Yeah,
Okay.
we had just woke up.
Okay, so you guys
Right.
woke up.
I don't think we have any concrete plans until between now and Sacrifice Day
Yeah,
or Offering Day.
that's right.
So we can investigate, do shopping, or otherwise.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's try this.
The day is yours.
So, oh yeah, we made breakfast,
Mm-hmm. Eggs.
and then we went to talk to the Sovereign.
Did you guys actually go talk to her yet? I don't think you did you?
We did.
We did.
Oh, okay.
And then because it was like 10:45 and it was late, we kind of ran out of questions. Did anyone think of any questions to ask the Sovereign while we're here?
That's right. You guys were in the middle of questioning her.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God you remembered. I didn't actually have time to go through the whole last session.
Okay.
I just remember the good days when the last map we were on. Was just
You're real quiet, Dustin.
You're so quiet. You're a mouse again.
A baby mouse.
better.
Better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mouse be gone.
Yeah. I was just saying I miss maps.
Maps?
It was always such a good reminder of what we were doing.
Val will actually ask if there is a library or some literature in this village.
Oh, sorry, Shabby.
The library we have is sparse.
But there is a library.
Yeah, Anita can show you to it if you would like.
Okay, terrific.
Um,
Anita, you and I are about to be best friends.
Yeah,
Val points
Anita
to
book.
Sophia and Corvo. She says, "You two, go check out the library.
I'll
The
grab
Chronicler
Zaki.
and you would probably be the best bets for this."
And
Yep.
While we're gone, can you check on their oral history as far back as it goes?
Val actually looks to Nihilus for this one, and says, well, "I can't think of a better person to interact with storytellers than Nihilus. Nihilus,
Well,
you and I will go check out. We'll go see if we can find any
I feel
more
like
oral records."
I've been a little out of it, but I think I can help you out.
In fact, Razzie, you'd probably be good in this situation too.
What you need, Captain?
Well, I'm gonna need you to come with me for this. Saki,
Either way.
you like shopping, don't you?
There were books? Shopping? Wait, hold on.
Well, what would you rather do? Go to the library or try and check out what vendors and such have? Get an idea of the economy of this place, or, well, lack thereof, but what they deal in, what they offer.
You
It's-
want me to make deals with people?
No. Want you to
No.
look and see what people have.
She thumbs to she thumbs to Nihilus what he said. Look, I don't want
Window
you to make deals with
shopping.
people yet, but well, given your previous purchases, there's no one with a better nose for opportunities than you.
To be fair, I can smell a scam whenever I see one.
Even
Corvo
better.
would be a good book.
Look, I'm trusting you with this, okay? We need to understand as much about this village as possible. And yeah, she's saying this right in front of the Sovereign. We don't plan on being here long, but we have to be prepared for the idea that we may be here longer than we expected. My brother's group was here for about a week before they left. We should be planning to spend at least that much time here.
Sounds fine to me.
Do we know
Well,
how
we do
long
have
they were
someone
here?
waiting for us.
Do we know how long they were here before their first attempt at leaving?
She actually looks to the Sovereign for that one.
Oh, only a few days.
So it sounds like they went out, probably came back and restocked and tried again.
Yes, it was on their second attempt that they never returned.
Sounds like either they found a way out or they met a grim fate. I'm
Oh.
choosing to believe that they found a way out.
When they returned, did they do it purposefully or did they just find themselves back here?
Oh, they returned purposefully. I told you the night before, and I'll tell you again. If you are lost and desperate,
You want to come home,
yes,
the
stop.
swamp will show you home.
If you want to come home, the swamp will show you home. Very good.
I think. Alright, bit of a long shot. I'm going off my brother's thinking here, so bear with me. He wasn't the leader. My brother probably would have wanted to scout the area first, see if they could get an idea of any landmarks before committing to anything big. So today, we should focus on getting as much information as we can. Tomorrow, we scout the area, see if we can find any traces of them that they left behind. Signs in the trees, or, landmarks that they left.
Betty Sovereign, if I may, do you know the reason why the swamp won't let anyone leave?
The enchantment on the swamp is for the protection of the village.
I see.
And also, we do have a deadline tonight. Make sure that we all meet back in time to see the Guardian. You are
Oh.
making an offer. They are making an offering to the Guardian tonight, and we want to be there for that.
Oh, tomorrow night is the offering to the Guardian.
Oh, even better. So we have a little time today. We all know where we are housed right now. Oh, but before we do anything, Sovereign, while we don't plan on staying here, we also don't plan on just mooching off of you. Are there any small tasks you would have us do to, help you out in keeping this place going? Something we can do in between our searches.
Unfortunately, I haven't any specific tasks, but perhaps people in town may.
Okay. In that case, guys, wherever y'all go, make sure you try to lend a helping hand. Make every place better than when you first showed up.
Well, if we point Saki at manual labor, she shouldn't have a problem with that.
It's
Strongest
my
pack.
middle name.
Work.
So
See, she would love it.
we know where the library will be, and we know where our bookworms will be going. As for Razzie, me, and Nihilus, where would be the best place that stories would be told? Any older people here, or elders that have been around for a while, record keepers of your history.
I asked about
Or
that last
bards?
time. There are some elders, right? I asked who the oldest was. I don't think we got a direct answer. Oh yeah, you were gonna figure it out. Did you figure it out?
Hold on. Got a million questions here. A second. All right, wait. I know I was asked a million questions. What was the
First question.
yes?
Elders. Who would be the oldest person around here?
Excluding the senile, of course.
Yes.
That puts out old man Jenkins.
Now there are wisdom in their words.
You just have to decipher the madness. And once you do, you may not be able to go
Feed
back.
me a cat.
Talk to an old man who thinks he's a kitty cat.
All right. So if you're just looking for the,
Well, perhaps it'd be best if we merge the questions together. This might
Sure.
help you. So, we're looking for elders in the village that would have a spoken record of y'all's history, or stories passed down from generation to
An
generation.
oral tradition.
Would those be told at the temple, or
oh, we don't have a traditional temple. We have a shrine. People of all different faiths make offerings and prayers to the shrine. For most of the traditions, I can answer most of these questions. If you were looking for someone a bit more wizened than I, you could speak to Norm. Norm Sternstrider.
No.
while we're at it, out of character, would you mind marking on the map where different characters will be going?
Okay.
So, we have 3 people going to the library.
Okay.
No, 2 people. Corvo and Sophia.
Alright, hold on. Here's the way we can do this. Why are you just invisible?
Didn't want to be found.
It's a status?
Is it under the map layer? I see
Uh.
the little. It's transparent.
Yeah.
You can see the mask.
Yeah, he's got like a little invisibility token thing. I don't know how to not. Oh, wait. Bop. There we go.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
that's funny.
Oh, it's because this is probably where you guys were last, huh?
Probably.
fucking mask.
Hi, Binks.
Alright. So I believe Corvo and Sophia are going to the library. I'll yeet Sovereign for now.
Yeet the sovereign.
And it's the
Like
4
that
of you
plan.
doing something?
I will actually offer. Saki can come with us to hear old tradition, and then we can go check out the stalls.
Mhm.
Or Saki can go to the stalls themselves.
Oh no, my token is called Ryan.
Up to you. What do you want to do, Saki? You want to
Uh,
roll with us, or you want to go to the stalls?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably take care of this, and then we can meet back up.
Okay.
She holds out her hand expectantly.
Val shrugs. They don't have currency here. I don't know what you want from me. Gold has no weight here, except for a paperweight.
But it has value to me, Val.
Give her a paperweight.
Val ponders for a minute.
Hand her a rock.
So yeah. So Sovereign knows stuff, but if you want to talk to an old guy who knows stuff, Norm Strider actually doesn't live too far away from the place the Sovereign stays.
Okay. We'll probably go see Norm. And Val has one last question before we break.
Okay.
Were there any areas that the previous group liked to stay behind in? Taverns or blacksmiths or anything like that?
Oh, I didn't keep direct tabs on them.
Well, we know that they stayed in the house that you are keeping us in. Val will produce the horn wax. Same kind my brother used.
The home you're staying in now was most recently lived in by an older couple. We did have to bring furniture in from a couple other homes. We didn't
Val-
have a home with 2 beds and 3 rooms originally.
Val thinks for a moment
It
and
wasn't
then
that,
passes the container to Saki.
wasn't this container found in a closet somewhere?
It was found in a dresser drawer.
Ah,
She passes the container to Saki. You're good at object reading, aren't you?
Yeah.
She nods at Saki. When we get back to the house, this one's on you.
She kind of looks to it, then looks to Val. Looks to it, looks to Val.
Hey, no pressure. If you can't find anything, you can't find anything. Drix's team was here years ago. We're following some old tracks.
You see, Val, the trail has to be pretty fresh for me to really get anything useful out of it.
That's okay. Still, it's worth a try. If you can't get anything, I'm not gonna be mad. And look, she'll give you 100 gold. For your time. I don't know. Maybe someone at the stalls will think gold's shiny and they'll want it.
Maybe. We'll give it a shot. She'll take the gold, and then,
So where's the elder's house? And weirder question, is the shrine on the way to it?
You've been to the shrine. It is not on the way. Shrine
It is not on the way.
Squiggly. Yeah, that's it. That's the shrine.
Okay.
And the elder's house. Right. Why can't I draw? Give me a drawing thing. Jesus. Right there.
Okay. You can go ahead and move Val, Razzie, and Nihilus there. Val will thank the Sovereign once more. And then she'll reiterate to her team, remember guys, wherever you go, wherever you ask, whatever favors you ask for, make sure you leave every area better than when you found it. Help people out. Do minor tasks. If people have long-standing things they need done, take care of it.
Good thing, boss.
Which group
Nothing
do-
is too mundane, and nothing is beneath us right now.
Azotal smiles upon you, Val.
I don't know what that means, but we'll break for now. Thank you again, Sovereign. If you need anything, get in touch with me.
Of course, I will send word if need be. Which group do we want to follow first?
Personally, I say, Osaki's going to the stalls.
To the stalls?
Yes,
Oh, to
Markets.
the markets.
quote-unquote market.
is
Gotcha.
that closest?
Personally, I say we take a look at the book readers first.
Okay. Book readers. You
That
are
feels
led.
like an insult.
You are led
Book reader.
to a library, which is a floor down from where you are currently, by Anita.
Who is Anita leading us from the courtroom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she
I
leads
would,
you guys to it.
When we get to the place, before we go in, I would like to cast some magic.
Okay.
Can't do that in a library, so I feel it's
Oh, okay. Yeah.
uh
Sure.
I'm gonna cast we're gonna cast Mage Armor just because why not? And we're going to cast Speech Reader's Sight. And I guess we'll wait on the third spell actually. It's only got we got like an hour. We'll wait on the third spell. Never mind. So Mage Armor and Speech Reader's Sight. And then I'll thank Anita for her patience.
Okay. I mean, she waits at the doors.
I don't want to cause a ruckus in the library.
Yeah. After she gets you guys in the front door, she sits at one of the tables in the library near the front and continues reading the book she was already reading before she was asked to escort.
Okay, I'm gonna be looking for history of the village, origins, perhaps significant events. You know, any disasters or any indication of when this guardian arrived.
Okay.
So that anything along that vein.
Sure. Give me and what's Corvo doing?
What am I doing, boss?
You're also looking for information.
Not you, boss. You're not here,
oh.
boss.
I
Other
thought you were
boss.
asking out of character.
Mom boss.
Boss. Well, what do you want to do?
I suppose history is probably the way to go. Let's see if we can find anything on the historical records of Summers Grove. Why a town would even be out here in the first place, in the middle of the swamps? It seems like a terrible place
I guess
to put up a town.
Perhaps how they were isolated, and any records on something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then both of you give me a history check.
I need an AFK real quick.
Okay. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, Nerd Crew. What's up?
You guys find a children's book in the children's section that seems most helpful, actually. This place is pretty sparse when it comes to like proper historical records. But there's like a very heavily illustrated children's book that looks like it's read during story time that goes over it like first shows a little picture of just a village, and then on the next one it shows a person leaving the village, and then on the next one a bunch of people show up to the village, and then the next one there is no village, and then in the next one there's like a shadowy figure that has like a sad face on it, and on the next one there are people that approach the shadowy sad figure.
How many arms on that figure?
It's like it's more of a shape. It's not a straight up. It looks sort of like Corvo, but without the mask. If Corvo was blurrier. And the next one it shows like the building of the town, and then in the next one it shows the shadowy figure is in the night sky, like kind of blurred into the night sky, and a town.
Is it still unhappy?
No, it seems happy, and all the little people in the town have little smiley faces on them.
symbiosis is better than it being unhappy. So what are we looking at? Some kind of ancient primordial shadow being, or
Likely this guardian, whatever it is. I'm not going to read too much into a children's book.
yeah, when was the last time anybody found insight from a very hungry Rovagug?
I choose to believe that's canon now.
You know, while we're in it, Sophia, do you speak Draconic or read Draconic?
Hold on. I'm gonna put something in Discord for this.
I do not speak Draconic.
Tragic.
It looks like one of these, but with a sad or smiley face.
You're not here. I was gonna say this sounds like some kind of spooky spaghetti we read as a child.
Where do we put languages, or where are languages kept?
You know those spooky spaghetti stories.
Spaghetti. The creepy pastas.
Yeah. Though I don't recall ever referring to them like that. It's always been spooky spaghetti here in Galarian.
Here on Earth.
Here on Earth. What are you talking about? Creepypasta? What a stupid name. Well, okay. That's fine.
I've found my list of known languages. How do I put it in chat?
Great mystery, isn't it?
I sent you the script. You'll have to edit it to you.
How full is the library right now?
I mean, there's no one in here. It's you guys and Anita.
I will say out loud, apologies in advance, and I will cast comprehend languages.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna dig around in one of my bags and find the contract I have with Anne.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to kind of spread it out on the table in front of us and tell Sophia, I got this from the young girl, and she wrote it in a language that I couldn't read, which didn't really think of it as important at the time, but her relationship with the Guardian seems to stress that it might be. And I will attempt to read whatever it is that she had written for her signature.
Yeah, okay.
The Draconic she wrote on the contract. We're getting our answers from children's book. Why don't we consult a child?
You just trying to read her signature?
Well, yeah, you said she wrote in Draconic at the bottom of the page.
Okay. Gotcha. Here you go. It's just in Draconic. It's just phonetically this.
Okay. Corvo's gonna look at the contract, being a little confused.
Did she pull a fast one?
No, it's just her name. Anavan. Doesn't mean anything at all. Well, even still, how does a girl like that know to write her name in Draconic?
How many people in town do you think speak Draconic?
I can't imagine a lot. Not
How-
unless some linguist got stranded here in the town.
Anita says, I speak Draconic.
How common is that?
Not incredibly. Well, you do have a few texts in the library that have Draconic script. To become one of the Sovereign's aid, you are trained classically in a few languages, one being Draconic.
What would be the need for Draconic in a place such as this?
Like I said, some of the scripts in the library have Draconic in them.
Could you bring those? Oh, I guess that wouldn't be kind. Could you direct me to those scripts?
Sure. And she kind of bookmarks her book, and they're in a few different places. But she can bring over one as an example, and it is a book on magic theory.
How old is that book?
It looks very, very old, but well maintained.
And Corvo, does it match up with our understanding of magic?
I think Corvo's understanding of magic's different than yours.
Probably not that different.
Yeah, I guess Corvo's an arcane caster, right?
Yeah, it's both arcane.
Yeah, and we both would have taken the same intro to arcane magic
Yeah.
type class.
And I
Yeah.
can teach my mask arcane spells.
Yeah. The arcane in this book is nonsense.
Yeah, nothing about this makes any sense.
How long does that comprehend languages spell last?
An hour and 20 minutes.
Can we translate a few excerpts into notes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that was the plan. I'm gonna get out some paper and some pen and ink. Start rapidly translating their magic theory into some notes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
it'll-
look here. Their fireballs don't even require bat guano. What the hell is sulfur?
What do you mean you can just issue materials?
It's not.
What the fuck is conjuration magic?
I mean, at least that's something it would cover. It wouldn't cover fireballs, but it covers like basic arcane glyphs and how they
Right.
relate on scrolls. It's basically teaching you.
To
It's like-
read magic?
It's teaching you like a coding language. It's
What is this ripped out page? Is that greater teleport?
teaching you how to code in a language that doesn't make any sense. Like the mathematically doesn't
It's
add
like
up.
the Fortran cookbook, except Fortran never existed.
Yeah. You guys doing anything else?
I
Were there
think
any other books that you wanted to look at?
I guess we could look at see if we can find how far back the records go. Like, if they recorded all the way back to the rebuilding of the town, like census data, just to get a timeline on the existence of the village.
You know how far back it was that the
Yeah, that
the
it
shadow being.
that the one person left and came back with many people and then took the whole village away. How long since Sad Shadow became Happy Shadow?
Give me a history check.
One of these research checks. 15. Oh no.
You guys search for, somewhere close to an hour. And there doesn't seem to be anything that acts as a sort of ledger, or like census. Not in the library, no.
No, we can ask the what's her name when we go back up.
Anything else you're doing while you're in here? New attack.
Accident.
Probably wouldn't be in a library, but is there a local census?
A local census? What do you mean?
Long story short, if we wanted to find information about Anne's family.
Are you asking? Who are you asking?
Like civilian records. Anita. I need a hand over here.
If you're looking for Anne's parents, I know where they live.
Why did I think she was an orphan?
Who, Anne?
Yeah. Probably because she's running around, palling around with the Guardian.
What?
In any case, I should at least like to meet Anne's parents and inform them of her journeys miles and miles away.
Okay. If you're done in the library, I can bring you to Anne's parents.
Boss?
Sure.
Okay.
There you go.
So she'll lead you guys out, and we will transition. Are we gonna go to Saki or the other three?
Up to you guys. Who wants to take the lead first?
Y'all can go ahead.
Okay. Then we'll go to Val and companies first.
Okay. You guys follow the directions given to you by Byron at the front desk, and find yourself at a very quaint, small home, just off the water. It doesn't have a whole lot to it.
Okay. Val will knock on the door.
You hear like just a minute, and some shuffling, and the door opens, and there's an old man that adjusts his small glasses. Yes, good. Wait, who are you?
Hi there. We're new in town, actually. Valiel Stone Sunder. And this is my team. We were told that you would probably have a better understanding of, well, this place's history.
Ah, you're looking for stories. I have plenty of stories. Come in. And he shuffles out of the way. When you walk in, you walk into like a small living room that has a single chair, and like a small couch in front of a coffee table. He says, "Oh, I wasn't expecting guests. Give me a moment. I'll put some tea on." He shuffles off. Across from the couch, past the coffee table, there's a small fireplace. Above the fireplace is like almost. Get out of here. They have there's like a ceramic uh, mask that has only a single eye hole up on the wall, sort of like you would mount a game head. He returns after a couple of minutes and puts down some little teacups. He says, "It'll be a moment before the tea is ready," and he kind of shuffles into his seat.
You really didn't need to trouble yourself, sir.
"Oh no, I don't get guests very often."
Well, then, I thank you for the tea, and I would be delighted to hear your stories of this place.
Did you have anything in particular?
We primarily wanted to know how this town came to be, but more specifically, how the enchantment came to be.
He adjusts his glasses. Or the enchantment. Oh, the enchantment on the swamps.
Yes.
Oh, I'm afraid I won't be very much help there. I may not look it, but I do understand the arcane quite well, but I do not understand this magics. If anything, I can tell you for sure it is not arcane in nature.
Could it be fey in nature?
Or quite possibly.
And that gives us a lead. But we still wish to know the history of this town, how it came to be, how things work here.
Oh.
How did it begin?
Well, it's a story I'm quite used to telling, but not to people in your in your age bracket.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Okay, that's fine. He starts and says, a long time ago, the village was known as Summer's Grove, and many people were happy and lived here. But then one day, someone left the village. They were gone for quite some time, and then more people showed up to the village. And those people didn't like the village. Then the village was gone. And this made the guardian very sad. But the guardian made friends. And then they rebuilt the village. And now the guardian's happy, and the people are happy, and no one will ever find the village again.
Except we were able to find it.
It's not a perfect story, I suppose, but I normally tell this story to children during story time.
I understand. We're simply very new here, and wanted to learn as much as we could about this village.
Well, about the enchantment, it is mostly rumored that the Guardian had some hand in it, but not much is known about the Guardian nor the enchantment.
Is there anything you can tell us about the Guardian?
Mm, well, you never get a good look at it. But I suspect it's some sort of flying beast. Just based on the cries. You do hear it occasionally. Especially if there are any dead that have to be taken during an offering.
Why would dead be taken from an offering? As a meal?
They do sky burials.
I see. I was a little out of it.
Not a lot of land here for proper grave sites.
Understandable. Do you know anything about a group of people who arrived calling themselves cartographers?
Mm. He gives it a good think, and you can hear a whistling from the other room. So, oh, the tea! And he starts to shuffle, and he goes and gets the pot. And when he comes back, he pours a bit, holding the top of the tea kettle into each of the cups.
Atlas will offer to help him if he needs it.
He seems like he gets around okay.
Okay.
He doesn't have like a walker or cane or anything, but he does move a little slowly. And he says, are these cartographers? Is this a friend? I don't.
They would be travelers, people like us that were new to the village.
Oh, there was some new people a couple of years ago.
She makes her she brings her hands up to her head and indicates like horns with her index fingers. One of them would have had horns like this.
Oh, yes, the tiefling fellow. I did like him. He was quite boisterous. He
Yeah,
could
that sounds
match
like
me
him.
in storytelling.
I wouldn't say that. I'm sure you've got quite a few more in you.
Oh, I do.
Is there anything you could tell us about them?
That's right. Very, idealistic group. Is this the case for all you cartographers? Just a bunch of, save the world types?
Well, our normal mission is simply to map the world. We all have our own ends and goals, but if the world needs to be saved, we can try. But our main priority is to map.
But don't worry. She winks at the elder. I won't be putting this place down on my map. Your secret's safe with us.
Village? What village? I never saw a village.
But yes, we are pretty idealistic, if you mean that we're gonna try and leave.
Yeah.
That's why we want to know as much as we can about this place, about your people, your customs,
How your economy works.
or lack thereof. And
Yeah.
if anyone knows anything about the previous group, we'd like to know about them. The tiefling fellow. That was my brother.
Ah. You do have similar eyes.
Surely there must be some stories you know that, well, aren't for children. Maybe you could tell us something from your experience. Not a campfire story, but things you've seen in this village.
Are there any curious rumors?
Give me a sense motive, Val.
Sure.
Can I do it in the blind GM roll for me?
Sure thing.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
Why are all my rolls coming out as Valio?
Fuck.
What?
Look at me.
Oh,
They
it's 'cause
all
I
say-
have you selected. That's why.
I'm the main character now.
Stupid. Okay. All right. He seems a bit sheepish, and he said, "Most of my stories are geared towards children nowadays. I, I don't have any grand stories like your brother."
He sure knew how to talk your ear off, didn't he? Really had a flavor for the extreme, huh?
Well then, have you heard any curious rumors or of dangers facing this village? Like something
Hold on a second.
in the woods. All
She
right.
kind of puts her hands up to Nihilus. Sorry, Nihilus. I'll let you finish in a second, but she kind of leans in closer. My brother must have told you a lot of stories. Must have really talked your ear off, huh?
It was hard to get a word in edgewise.
That sounds like him. Well, see, I was kind of thinking. He told you so many stories about his life outside, things out there in the world. You must have gotten an idea of what things were like out here. Surely, you can share some of yours with us. In return, think of it like a trade with his family. He gave you some stories. Why don't you give us some?
Nihilus will drink his tea.
You know what? Hold on. Before we do anything, he says, I'm afraid my stories may not be appropriate.
Then how about this? We'll tell you a story of our time outside. If you find it, well, amenable, then you'll tell us one of yours. It doesn't matter if it's appropriate or not. We've seen some pretty bad things out there. Trust me, everyone in this room right now, and I get the feeling yourself included, is already a hardened adventurer.
Could even tell you a story of how we basically escaped a god.
We've a great many since we started our journey. A spider that grants wishes. A hydra that fell from the sky. An angry god that chased us on our carriage.
We better not tell him about, the cave.
She winks at Nihilus. What do you say? A tale for a tale. Just like they used to do before all of this.
Hmm. You will have to. You will have to make me a promise before we switch tails.
Of course. Anything.
You see, he kind of lifts his wrinkled hands about chest height while he's sitting, and with one hand draws in the air and speaks a few words, and the floor beneath you glyphs appear that light up around the room.
Is this rune magic?
No, it doesn't look like your type of runes. This looks more familiar to like Sophia's version.
Okay.
And you feel like a encroachment into your mind, sort of, and you can save against it.
Is this happening to everyone or just me?
You and everybody in the room.
I will accept it.
Okay.
I accept it.
Razzie?
What does Razzie do?
I accept.
All right.
That was the easiest 3 souls I ever ate.
Oh, Bree.
All right. All 3 of you are under the effect of a zone of truth.
Okay.
And there's like a little floating glyph above each of your heads and above his own.
Like we're Sims characters.
Yeah, basically. He says,
Testing something real quick.
Huh?
Just testing something real quick.
Sure. He says, the stories we trade here cannot be uttered to another soul. Does not leave this room. Agree to this, and we have a deal.
What about to the rest of our team? There are 3 others. If the answer's no, that's okay. I understand. Some things are private. We're the ones that spoke to you, not them.
I suppose that would be fine. It's just some knowledge is dangerous.
I can totally understand.
There's a flash of realization in her eyes. I understand.
Would you like us to tell you one of our stories first?
Of course, that would be a much needed reprieve from telling them myself.
Val kind of leans against the chair and looks to Nihilus and Razzie. Which one do you think Nihilus should tell?
I think I know the one. That'd be the most entertaining.
I'm sure it'll be new to me as well.
Maybe not. You might have been involved in this one.
The
floor is yours, Nihilus.
Very well. Allow me to begin, dear sir, by allowing you to know that I have a patron. A fae by the name of Sire. In this story, he appeared before me. Well, in a sense. You see, Nihilus let Squeakers run up onto his shoulder, he spoke through my friend here to warn us of an elder fae that was getting kicked out of the first world.
Out of character? He actually spoke through you while you were in the body of Squeakers.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound as good, does it?
That's true.
But this is a zone of truth we're in, so I have to be accurate.
Oh, that is true.
Val intercedes for a moment. Sire's been known to kind of take control away from Nihilus for a little while.
I do understand him to be excessively powerful. I don't fully understand why he has granted me his boon, but that has little to do with this tale. But you see, the moment that my patron warned us of this elder fae being relieved of his duties was the very moment that he was tossed out directly in front of us. We were in our carriage at the time, our full group, and we had to about face in a carriage to flee from this darkness. We could not make out details of this creature, but we ran, and he chased, with the world around him changing as we progressed. Forests rising up from the ground as he ran after us, or floated after us, whatever it was he was doing. We had little idea of what we could even do. Worse, or perhaps better, we had a friend in our carriage who prevented us from using any magic. But still, we ran as fast as we could, and while I'm sure a tale of us bravely facing this elder fae, we decided it'd be a better idea to live. Still, we had to search for an answer to ward him off, as he chased us down further and further through this ever-changing world. Well, ever-changing pathway, as it be. And our only salvation, Nihilus will reach into his bag cautiously, as if not to offend the man, and withdraw his celestial lantern. This turned out to be our only salvation when it was doused with holy water. It was enough. This is a celestial lantern, and its light was enough to push the monster back and allow us to escape into a cave. There we found refuge as we watched as a greater demon appeared to fight this creature. Oh, was it terrible. But still, we found our salvation. Well, refuge. The Fae was defeated, and we were safe. For the most part. Val, you'd probably be able to tell that Nihilus is struggling to hold back telling him about, what's his name?
Val puts a hand on Nihilus' shoulder and says, I can tell the rest. I think we can trust him.
Alright. Go
Our
ahead.
skins were saved, temporarily. The demon in question had been, we think, mistakenly summoned by this Fae. It was pretty mad about being brought out, considering, out there, you can't jump back to where you came from. It was touch and go for a little while. We didn't think we'd make it out of that cave alive, especially when the demon came in and decided to have a conversation with us. Trying to figure out where it was he was. Trying to figure out who we were. What it was he just fought and what brought him into this world. At the end of it, he tried to take a snack for the road. Luckily, she thumbs over to Nihilus. Sire stepped in at just the right time.
Alice nods.
When we left, things were different than how we had originally left them. A friend of ours, one of our comrades, went and scouted the area. Found a large wooded area that popped up out of nowhere. And one of your villagers playing in that area. He brought her back, introduced her to us, and we decided to go check out this newly formed wooded area. It was beautiful. It was what color would you say the newly formed forest was, DM?
I mean, it was vibrant and multi-chromatic, but a lot of like high contrast purple.
Would you say there were colors in there that we had never seen before?
There were definitely plants bearing colors that didn't seem normal.
A vibrant landscape, filled with the deepest and brightest purples, plants that we'd never seen before. A whole new adventure in this small, tiny landscape. But as we traveled, it seemed like the path was forming itself to us, guiding us somewhere. As we followed this path, we ended up finding the patron of the forest, the same Fae that had chased us down, bound to the ground beneath him. He welcomed us. And believe me when I say we were real skeptical about the situation. But something in him changed. He gained an appreciation for the life around him. Maybe because he made it himself. And there was a part of him that understood that if he left this area, everything that he created would die. And so, we made a deal with him in that moment. We would send our people out to help protect this forest, so long as he helped protect the area around. And, well, I don't usually use words like this, but it was beautiful. He shed a single tear for what is basically his children, and formed into a giant tree, reaching up into the heavens, covering almost the entire forest. A permanent protector. That tree spreaded fruits, the likes of which we'd never seen before. That if you ate one, it would give you the gift of invisibility or a shroud over you or something like that. His name was Jalupo. We decided to call it Jalupo's Wood. Not very original, but despite how cruel he was in life, he really cared for something in death. And that something that he made has the chance to change the world. Make it better. Make it safer. You see, maybe the previous group told you this, but outside, portals open up at random times, carrying the gods know what with them. Sometimes travelers from other planes, sometimes demons, or other horrible abominations. But in Jalupo's woods, that doesn't happen. Jalupo's woods are safe. And that's why we have to leave here. We have to make sure that what keeps the world safe stays safe from the real problem. People.
The old man, who's at the edge of his seat for this whole thing, has sort of sunk back into his seat as you finish the story. He says, "The real problem Oh, I know about the real problem. You may want to brace yourselves for this story. Saki,
DM.
what you doing?
What the sock doing?
What that sock doing?
I don't like the sound of that. We're gonna carry on. Okay. So there's a market kind of, what is this? North of center in the city? Town? Village?
Yeah. You basically have to walk past the house you guys were in to get to it, but yeah.
Hamlet? Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'd like to look around, just kind of see what it looks like. Is it just like farmers markets, or
Yeah.
what's it look like?
It's like a farmer's market. There's like stands that have vegetables, and there's stands that have fresh fish. There's a stand that has some basic farming tools. Just, kind of regular stuff.
Okay. I guess I'll maybe find like some of the food vendors, and I'll just kind of ask around and say, just kind of check out the wares, and I guess I'll ask if anyone has seen a tiefling in a while.
Okay. Um, the the woman at the little vegetable stand that you talked to says that she'd seen a tiefling a couple of years ago.
Oh, really? How exotic. Uh, I, what was he doing?
They stocked up on some provisions, and there was rumor that they made some sort of expedition into the swamps. They returned a few days later and did the whole thing over again probably a week after that.
Interesting. Did they come back with anything from these expeditions?
After the first expedition, they came back in ill spirits. And then they never came back from the second expedition.
Huh. How about you? Have you ever left the village?
Oh dear, no. I'm quite happy and have everything I need here.
Which, speaking of, it's... Do you require payment for this food? What do you...
Oh no,
You...
I'm simply here to make sure it's easily accessible.
Huh. What kind of food does she have out?
She's got an assortment of different vegetables. There's like some squashes and cabbages, some carrots, peas.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, do you mind if I?
Oh, by all means, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, she'll kind of just collect a little bit for just making a meal later.
Okay.
And, I think we'll move on and see if there's any, like, equipment shops, maybe? something that anyone who would go out expeditioning might go to?
There was a blacksmith you pass on the way here, which is like in this area.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we can circle back.
Okay.
Saki will circle back.
Circle backy. Yeah, there's a little blacksmithing shop. Up front, there's a young human male who seems to be mostly bored. When you walk in, he offers to help you find anything you need. It's you know, a more traditional blacksmith that looks like he makes chains, nails. It doesn't have like a bunch of weapons on the wall or anything. There's some scythes, but they don't look like they're the right type of scythe to bring into combat.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hello. I'll walk in.
Oh, good morning.
Kind of look around the shop and see all the farming implements. She'll pull out her sword and say, "Do you know how to sharpen these?"
Oh, yeah, I could do that actually. I wouldn't even need to bother the old man.
Really? Have you worked on equipment at all? Like combat equipment?
That can't be much different than sharpening an axe.
Saki retracts her blade back. These... What race is this guy?
He's human.
Oh no. You see, this is fine elven craftsmanship. Have you ever worked with any elven equipment?
I suppose I can't say I have. We, my family makes pretty much all the metal equipment in town.
She'll say, "Oh, okay, well, how about a sharpening or polishing kit, a maintenance kit, if you would."
Oh yeah, sure. And he pulls out like a little leather bound like satchel.
Okay. Whenever he goes to get it, she'll pull the sword close and like pet it and be like, "It's okay, baby. I won't let him hurt you." Then she sheaths it back.
Yeah, here you are, ma'am. This ought to keep your metal in good condition.
Great, thank you. And do I owe you anything?
I don't think I understand.
Well, that's okay. Well, tell you what, have you possibly seen any tieflings around here? Past couple years, maybe?
Yeah, there was a tiefling that passed through here a couple of years ago.
Really? Could you tell me anything about him? Did he get any equipment? What kind of equipment? Anything like that?
I remember he bought uh, uh, a maintenance kit, as you have. And some oil.
She nods.
He said... I think he said it was because his horns were dry.
She'll dig around in her bag and produce the tin. They kind of like this?
He opens the tin and then closes it. Says, "Oh, no, we don't have anything like that, but maybe it was a substitute?"
Oh. Desperate times, I suppose. Well, okay, but... What do you suppose happened to him?
Well, last I heard, they had went into the woods. They went around asking if anybody knew how to leave the village for like a week. Roll me a let's do knowledge local. Why not?
I'm not trained.
Okay. You have history?
I do?
Do that.
I sure do. Yeah. I shall.
Yeah, okay. This is I do remember I took one of my nephews to story time, and one of the people in his group seemed to be attached at the hip to Old Man Sternstrider.
Old Man Sternstrider. Do I recognize that name?
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh.
I mean, it rings a bell.
This makes so much sense that it would not ring a bell for you. Oh my god.
Okay. Make a mental note to ask about that later.
Okay.
But, okay. Well, I don't suppose you've ever left town, have you?
I mean, I've ventured off into the woods a time or two, but mostly just to run around in the woods as a child.
I see. Well, how do you have such a plentiful society if no one ever goes out for resources and comes back?
What do you mean? What resources are needed?
Kind of looks around at your shop and you all seem pretty self-sustaining. She'll kind of gesture to her, well, satchel full of produce.
Well, yeah, we have farms.
In the swamp here, or is it just further up?
It's not on map, if that's what you're asking. You guys walk through farmland to get to town. Specifically, what you guys had walked through was rice fields.
Right, okay. I gotcha. Okay. Well, she'll thank him for his time and for the materials and say, tell me, how did you come to get your job?
Oh, it's, my father's a smith.
Does everyone here have a job?
Most everyone. The elderly do what they can, but can't expect them to do anything too strenuous.
But is it expected of those who are capable?
Well, of course. You do what you can for the community.
She nods. It seems you all don't. Well, have I seen any like guards or anyone else equipped with any weapons?
No, not
Just
really.
kind of. Oh.
No one seems to like care that you're carrying weapons either.
Interesting. Alright, well, if you should know anyone who requires training, I can certainly teach anyone about fighting, of course. I could be of help. And I have several friends who are also quite skilled, and I'm sure they would be of much help if you do need any assistance.
Yeah, he's fucking lost.
Oh, no sweet puddle sucker.
Yeah, he has no idea what you're talking about.
She'll. Well, bless your heart. I must be going now.
He waves. Okay.
And she'll step out with loud clunks of her boots.
Okay. As you step out into the street, there's like children running through the streets, playing something. Just children playing in the streets, running by. It's a group of like 3 or 4 of them. None of them have an aura.
Okay. Look, you never be too safe. Alright.
Check.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Said you always gotta check.
You always gotta check.
Can I smite the children?
You could.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll try and meet back with everyone else.
Okay.
Back to the house you go.
So now we'll cut back to Book Boys as you guys are led by Anita to a home. Which is actually
That was a screech.
Screech?
Did anyone else hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
Nope.
Weird.
But yeah, Anita leads you guys to a home. Knocks on the door. A couple of like middle-aged people come and answer the door. She introduces herself first.
Oh.
I need to reboot real quick.
She says, hold on. My brain is mush. Yeah. She says, Morden, Turles, this is Corvo and Sophia. And they both kind of extend a hand. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
The The woman
Hello,
there,
nice to meet you.
yeah, the woman there, the one introduces Turles, says, "So what's this? What do we owe the pleasure?"
So we understand that you're the parents of Anne, and truly precocious child. However, we feel you should be informed that the reason that we are here is because we were able to follow her home.
Oh no, did she cause trouble again?
We located her many, many miles away from Summers Grove. And she seems to be under the impression that or rather, we seem to be under the impression that she's being transported by the Guardian.
The man says, "So you hold on. You're thinking the Guardian is kidnapping our daughter and bringing her away from the village?"
Well,
Sir,
kidnapping.
for context, the two of us are not from the village.
I gathered as much.
And
We
it's not kidnapping so much as the Guardian returns her.
Neither one of these people are processing what's being said.
I see.
The Guardian swooped down from the sky, picked up Anne, and then flew back over the swamp, and evidently returned Anne to Summers Grove.
She was lost in the swamps then?
She escaped the swamps. She was beyond the swamps.
They look to each other, and then look to Anita, and then look to you guys. That isn't... She's just a child. You can't leave the swamps.
So you share in our confusion then?
How could a little girl make it that far into dangerous territory unassisted?
I don't want to alarm you, but I do need to stress very dangerous territory. Don't wish to get into too many details on that, but can't be overstated.
The woman looks to the man there and says, "I don't know how the Sovereign could let this happen." He says, I don't know. I suppose she was just occupied and made a run for it? But why would she run away? Maybe she just got lost picking flowers.
Well,
Out of character,
could
how many
accept that,
miles
but-
away?
Yeah.
You don't
Out of-
know, you have no fucking idea is the problem.
Well,
Many.
Yeah.
from the
Many
first
miles.
sight of the swamp to Jalupa's woods, how many miles?
Oh, Jesus. Probably like 20 miles.
So, like a day's travel?
Yeah.
And for a child, likely twice as long? A distance impossible for a child to cover on foot, alone.
Both of them are still a bit flabbergasted, and the man says, We should ask the sovereign about this. This is highly unusual. Anita chimes in and says, the sovereign is also shocked by this. She's having the marshal take a look at this situation. They both seem relieved by this.
Now, I do want to be completely transparent with you both. We have reason to believe that Anne may be directly tied to why people are unable to leave this place. So we don't want to alarm you when we ask her questions or at the amount of time we may be spending with her.
You think, wait, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
None of this makes a lot of sense.
Anne's only 5. People have never been able to leave this place.
And yet
Have
she
you-
seems to do it regularly.
Have you taught Anne Draconic?
Well, no, that's likely due to her being trained as an aide to the sovereign.
At 5, she's already begun training.
Well, yes, it's a career.
Understandable.
When the sovereign asks for a child to go into training as an aide, you don't deny that.
The sovereign handpicked Anne?
Of course, the sovereign is always able to choose who becomes aides.
That's curious, right, Sophia?
Somewhat.
It's a rather lavish life, even here.
Well, in any case, we did want to keep you abreast of things.
Well, we thank you, strangers, for letting us know. I assume the sovereign would have let us know eventually. She's Turles is
And
throwing a bit of shade Anita's way. Anita says, "Of course. We just wanted a full report from the marshal before we started speaking on such matters."
Great, you got her in trouble, guys. I said leave every place better.
I need a new job.
Fuck.
I'll kind of subtly stress that yeah, our apologies that we couldn't that we didn't tell you sooner. We have been here at least a day.
So you were messengers in training then?
Some degree of courier, one might say.
Oh, a respectable career.
A little bit of map making, a little bit of message delivery, some odd tasks here and there. You perhaps haven't heard recently of a group in the area referring to themselves as cartographers. if I'm understanding everything correctly, there might have been a very boisterous one, red of skin and horns.
Neither of them seem to have any recognition. They say, no, I'm sorry. You have to understand, I've been quite busy raising Anne up until, the last year or so. And the man speaks up and says, and most of my days working, I'm out in the swamps.
What do you do out in the swamps?
I'm an arborer by trade.
So do you tend to go to the same areas, the same patch of trees that you've already cut down, or is it different every time?
Couldn't tell you, to be honest. I can tell you it's not the same patch of trees. I can't seem to find the same patch of trees.
You don't ever find trees that you've marked?
It's pretty rare for me to come across a tree that I've already felled.
Curious.
But, love what I do. Always have. It's one of the few things I don't actually like about the village, living out here. Trees.
What's this man's name?
Morden.
Mood Kindred.
Yeah.
Do you have any gear specific for wading through the swamps?
Waiting. Well, no, you take a boat. I'm not gonna. Don't get me wrong, and he flexes. I could have the tree over land. But he says it's much easier to drag him behind a boat.
See, that's where we got it wrong.
Who could we speak to about making a boat?
Suppose you have to go down to the docks and talk to the fishermen. If you're just looking for a ride, anyway. As far as making a new boat, I can get you. I can contact a carpenter. You guys aren't really super familiar, but you're looking for Brahm. Brahm Bloodleaf. He's
Protagonist name.
he's the one who does a lot of the woodworking.
Sure. We'll be in touch then.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Anita kind of looks back and forth. Says, okay. Are we good?
I believe so.
All right. Gordon, Turles, thanks for humoring us here, and taking the time. And you guys have a great rest of your morning here. We'll let you get back to it. And so, no problem at all. And then they kind of wave, close the door, and head back inside. Nita says, "Okay. Will you be needing my services any longer, or shall I return?"
At some point, I'll need directions to Brahms, but not until after we've regrouped with the rest of the party.
Okay. Sure. When you leave, you go back to your home, and you leave out your front door and go left, and you cross the street, and you're there.
Hold on. As in that one?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, we might have time to talk to him before regrouping.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna loop back to the other three.
Do we want to take a quick break?
Sure.
Yeah, because we're about to get a big story.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let me go get something to drink. Right back.
Yeah. Be right back. I'm back.
I return.
Welcome back.
So back.
Assume we're still missing some people.
Are we?
Seems like it.
Ellen, Thomas, and Nathaniel.
The usual suspects.
The suspected usuals. Hey, Leslie.
Hey, me.
Can we put down a quick save that I can just go NPC kill until they're back?
No.
Oh. Damn it.
You're gonna go kill a bunch of defenseless people.
Yeah, you know, like you're playing Fallout or Skyrim or something. Just put down a quick save because you're in the middle of town. And
Yeah.
you're like, You just start killing.
These people kind of deserve it.
Or if you're playing Kingdom Come Deliverance and you lose in a dice game, you're just like, save. Kill this guy. Alright, reload. I feel better.
I return with boba popsicle.
Bueno.
I want to say nice, but like I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
It's a popsicle made of boba.
Interesting.
Speaking of weeb stuff, have you played Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Yeah, I had it on PlayStation for a little while. I borrowed it from my sister's boyfriend, and it was something that I did not have the time to like fully get into.
That's one of the best games I've ever played.
Oh,
If
I'm
only it
aware
would,
that it's sick as fuck, but
it just chugs on my
you
computer for some
really
reason.
have to take the time to learn the system.
Oh, it's so good. I've got all the arena plate. I picked it up after not playing it for like a year. I played it for like a few hours last weekend. It was awesome. It's like decked out in full arena plate. Got St. George's sword. Oh yeah, it's good. And they added a bunch of new quests.
I might grab it on PC. But most of the time, the problem is I get home from work and I just fucking die.
Yeah, feel that.
It's just so inviting.
Yeah, understood. But I was
Kinda hate
just
it.
Yeah. It's 11. But no, I was just reminded of how good a game that was. Is. I might try Cyberpunk again. Apparently it works now.
They've put over 100 patches into the game.
Yeah.
I'll try it when I have a better system. I'm planning on upgrading soon. But I got a 4th gen i7 and a 1070, so like it's kind of time.
I feel you. I've got a 5th gen i7 and an AMD Fury.
Yeah, but my i7 was a business model.
Yeah. Look. Mine is a dead architecture.
Oof.
It's the 5th generation. It was the quad channel memory model. And I got it out of a flooded computer. But she overclocks like a champ.
But she overclocks like a champ.
She keeps going.
He thrives on the abuse.
Yeah, she might like it just a little bit. Come on.
So now we're just missing 1.
Overvolt me, daddy. Is it L? Is that who we're missing?
Yep.
Let's.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey. Alright. We're ready to get
My bad,
back
I forgot I
into it.
muted Discord. I've been
Everyone here?
literally responding to you guys for like fucking 5 minutes now.
I bet we missed so many quips.
No, it was only like a couple. That's why I didn't really notice nobody heard.
Gotcha.
And then you were like, "We're missing Lightus." I'm like, "What?"
Alright.
Fuck.
Story time.
The old man leans forward. You mentioned, a few things that seemed important to you that I think might be able to shine some light on. There's only a handful of people in the village old enough to remember when I arrived. I wasn't born here. I found the place much like you did. But to be honest, I didn't want to leave and didn't want to be found. I was born in a similar situation, I suppose, where no one left. At least no one people physically left, but they knew where their home was. I can't help you get out of here. But I'll tell you that far to the north, past the river and over some mountains, there's a society hidden that guards the route of the portals.
Wait, the portals, as in the ones that we were talking about?
The very same. The portals have a mother of sorts. That particular society tries to keep it contained, but it's not entirely contained. I wanted to close it. To do that, you have to remove some of the shielding. To venture inside, but they wouldn't listen. I was persistent, and when I had no support, I decided to strike out on my own. They didn't like that, and eventually they came to find me. As luck would have it, you would find a place that can't be found. And I'll tell you, your brother, he did leave this village. Where he went exactly, well, as long as my ally is good to his word, he's in my home. Now that was 2 years ago, so I don't know what's become of him. But I know that's where he went.
Could you dial it back 1 second and repeat that last sentence?
Says I don't know what's become of him, but I know that's where he went.
As long as my ally is true to my word.
Mm-hmm.
Ally.
As long as my ally is true to his word.
He is in my home.
Huh?
He is in my home. That's what,
Yeah.
that's what he said, right?
Right, he went to my home. Yep.
Your ally being my brother, or... Wait.
It's a bit difficult to explain, but someone with the means to leave this place.
She, almost gets up out the chair, then stops herself and takes a breath. And kind of nods to the elder. Can I get his name one more time, please?
Norm Sternstrider.
Norm Sternstrider. Okay. I don't suppose you can introduce us to this ally of yours, can you?
Oh, unfortunately. I don't have any favors left with him.
Is there any way that we could gain favors with them?
What did you say the ally's name was?
We didn't get that.
What was the name just said?
Norm
Norm
Sternstrider is the gentleman I'm
Sternstrider.
speaking to.
Yeah, he's the old man.
Okay.
What was the question?
Well, what was your ally's name?
Well, much like myself, he doesn't actually have a name.
But your name was Norm Sternstrider.
It's the name I adopted.
She nods, understanding. Is there any way that we could gain favor with this friend?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's pure happenstance. If you run across him and he has a job for you,
Take it.
I'd say so.
Norm Stormstrider. She extends her hand to him. You have been by far, in this entire adventure that we've been on, one of the most helpful and interesting people we have met.
Well, and he extends his hand and shakes rather weakly. There's one more thing I can give you. He sits down and pulls a small book, grabs a quill from an ink pot and draws. He tears out the page and slides it across the counter face down to you.
Val will look at the page.
Says these people might be able to help. It looks like hold on. It looks sort of like a W.
A W.
Like a curly W.
Curly
Says
W.
if you can find these people, they're of like mind with you.
I take it that's not a name, but a symbol.
The Warriors of West Crown.
Like that?
Yeah, pretty similar. A little wider at the edges, but yeah.
God, Dustin, is it Warriors of West Crown?
It's the Warriors of West Crown.
No. Can't do this to us, Leslie.
That'd be too meta considering he wasn't in that game.
Is there anything you can tell me about this group?
Well, they're likely not to trust you, especially being outsiders. But if you show them that, they'll know that you're at least square with me.
May I ask one more question? Now, given the Sovereign doesn't even know, simply out of my own curiosity, does the name Didian Domine mean anything to you? Have you heard of this person?
Big roll. Oh, that's Ryan. That's not relevant.
Get the fuck out of here.
And it wasn't even me.
Says, Ariane
Dimmadome.
Dominic. I believe I met a woman of that name in West Crown many a year ago.
Silas's eyes widen. How many years?
More than 2 decades ago at this point.
Thank you for your time.
If it's
So
of
you've been here
any
for...
consolation, she was with a group of strange individuals. A cook of some sort. He kind of he points up above the fireplace, says, "Someone with a mask like that, and a few others."
What does the mask look like?
It's like a white ceramic mask, and it only has one eye opening. And he says, as well as artistic type.
Artistic type?
I would assume a bard of some sort.
Well, from the sounds of it, she's likely just living it up. Doing whatever it is she does.
Val
But-
pats Nihilus on the shoulder. Don't worry,
But
man.
thank you for that. At least I have somewhat of a lead. That mask.
Hey, man, if I can find a trail as cold as this one, you can find your mom. And who knows? Things might not be as bad as you think.
I'll find her.
Just do me a favor. Try and keep an open mind when you do. Trust me. When you've got family, it sucks being apart from them. And I know that she was never in your life, but I don't know, maybe you could get that.
Nihilus just deeply inhales
I
and
get it, though.
nods.
I'm not gonna try and take this from you. Norm, is there anything else that we can give you to, I don't know, make things better for you around here?
The
Or stories, or...
the glyphs on the ground all fade by now. The little glyphs above your head disappeared in unison.
Another story, maybe. You've done so much for us.
He kind of waves dismissively. Oh no, I've lived a more full life than I probably deserve.
Oh, a flash of brilliance comes across Valiel's face. Wait, if there's anyone in this village who could appreciate this, she pulls out her map. It's not much, but this is what we've explored so far. Our team, specifically.
Kind of looks
See, there's-
down at the little map.
There's West Crown, there's Egorian. Unfortunately, Egorian is still kicking.
He points at an empty space on the map, where the river leads up to the forest. Says, missing a town.
Could you bring up the map, please?
I think this is gonna fuck everything.
They want to change maps on us?
Hey, it didn't fuck everything.
Where the river meets the forest?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Right there.
Oh, right there? We haven't really gotten to explore out there yet. She points to the pearl. That kind of makes things hard for us. Everything out there is undead. And portals are especially erratic around there.
He furrows his brow and says, wasn't... What? Why is it black?
The pearl?
We don't know. We know very little about it, merely that it exists and is dangerous.
Val, give me a history check. Or
Sure.
actually, Nihilus, give me a history check as well.
I don't believe I'm trained.
You can still
Ah.
give it.
Yeah, you can try.
You probably would have heard something about it. In
Is there an
class.
alternative I can give?
No, not really.
Might be local for us, considering.
Where is Razzie?
Nah, this is definitely
I'm
history.
here.
Razzie, this
you
is
can do
your
a
area of
history as well.
expertise.
Yeah.
Looking for a history, you said?
History.
I know nothing.
Wah, wah, wah.
Not
I'm gonna
great,
give this
but
to
I'll
you
throw
blind.
it.
Damn.
Ooh,
Not
Yeah.
terrible.
Razzie, you know exactly what this old man's talking about. It was only like, a couple decades ago that this map would have had a purple spot there.
Purple, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, a couple decades. Would any of us be aware of that?
You,
We
because you
should
rolled
be.
a correct history check.
Okay, I see.
The others probably have heard this stuff before because they went to history class, but they obviously, haven't come to the realization yet.
Yeah, but I know like about it in detail. Like it was a giant dome.
I mean, yeah, you went through the same history class they did. It used to be a big dome of like purple crystal, basically.
Right. Do we know that some stupid adventuring party went off and cracked it?
No, that's not common knowledge.
Yeah, I'll
That-
remind everyone of that.
And I wonder why it is black.
what's this town you mentioned though, right there?
Oh, right. It's the town of Beld.
Requesting to mark Beld on the map even as just that point.
I don't have a real way to map it, to be honest with you. That
I
currently.
mean, even
I mean,
like,
if you just leave my orange dot there.
Yeah.
New text.
shit. I must edit.
Text.
Smaller. Oh god, it's too large.
Oh no.
Try. Text. There we go. Yeah, it was at size 48.
Oh no, that's not what I want.
I got it.
Bottom text?
Bottom text.
New
That
text,
is-
bottom text.
Please move out of the way.
I
Yeah,
got
that's-
it handled.
No,
I
there's-
already have it handled.
Okay. Bottom text. The town of bottom text. Beld text.
I was gonna ask Norm, considering he's been here for several decades, or at least 20 years,
okay,
right? He
it's
said.
just me.
Has Sovereign always been the leader, or has she taken over from someone previously?
Oh, Sovereign's been sovereign as long as I've been here.
She is young, right? She looks like her portrait.
I mean, she looks like her portrait.
Quite young for such a long-standing leader. That's at least a bit peculiar.
Oh. Yes, a curious individual, I suspect. Perhaps elven blood?
Fair.
What all was going on in Beld? When you were around.
He chuckles. Piracy, mostly.
Sounds like a fun place to visit. She, points to Quarantine. That's where we're from.
Ah, an equally dangerous place.
She's met a kindred spirit. So you agree?
He finally realizes it's the pins that mark you.
Our map pins?
Mhm.
She nods. Yeah. What about them?
I had noticed them on the others, and on your mother, and her group. It's just now that I'm connecting the dots.
Yes, we were all in a group called the Cartographers.
Bit odd to so loudly announce yourselves as a political group, I suppose.
Val blinks. What do you mean by that?
Come on, Val. Do you
Look.
need to ask that?
I know things have gotten weird, okay? But still, the spirit of the cartographers was to map the world, right?
And we were
Even
turned
though
into spies.
the cartographers have been around since you were outside of the town. And
Well-
the amount that's mapped on here hasn't really changed since then.
To explore the world and cultures you don't know about, you need some form of political diplomacy.
Oh god, this was never about mapping the world, was it? If it was, a lot more than this would be filled in, wouldn't it?
Why do you think our mission was to go to Igorian?
I mean, that's because they were a threat at the time. We had to keep our people safe. And look, I've already come to terms with the fact that we were used as spies, but
You went to Agorian?
it wasn't pleasant.
I would imagine not.
Nihilus ponders, and then asks, have you ever heard of someone disappearing as though they never existed?
Ooh.
I can't say that I have.
I see. We've had that happen to 3 people.
What?
Val looks a little shell-shocked right
Yeah.
now.
Hold on. You've lost me, the DM.
He means the
About
previous
our
3
old
characters. How
But it
our
sounds like he's
memories...
admitting
We-
to murder or something.
we have a
No
split
context.
in our memories.
Is Taz.
I mean, you guys still remember Taz and,
The world doesn't.
what?
No, they know.
They're
They just
missing
assume that
people.
they're dead.
Oh, damn it,
Well-
I'm remembering wrong.
Okay, no, you're good. I was like, what are we talking about?
Been a
No,
while
they're,
for me.
yeah, they're all considered missing in action.
You know, the best
Yeah.
way to make someone disappear.
Yeah.
Rephrase what I said to just disappeared from nothing.
Yeah. He says, there is, magic that tampers with the memories.
Likely what happened to us.
That doesn't explain the changes in the world.
Changes in the world.
For
We've
us,
been Berenstein.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
When we visited I don't suppose it's too bad to tell you any of this, considering, well, your people like to stay here. And we don't plan on telling anybody about this village. Maybe you could educate us. We went to Agorian we were trying to get some people out. People that didn't want to be part of that world anymore. On our way out, we were found by, well, high-ranking officials.
The leader.
The last thing we remember is they offered us a deal.
The leader.
She nods. Well, not the leader so much, but I guess the person in charge of the forces around there at the time. I'm not really sure if, the head honchos of Agorian are still around or not. But the last thing we remember is we were offered a deal, and then we snapped to 2 weeks later on a boat, missing 3 of our group. All of our magical equipment. And the cartographers wouldn't tell us anything about what happened. Which is par for the course for them.
I'm sorry. Who found you?
Agorian's, well, military leadership. Did we have a name for her?
Her?
No.
I asked. No? We never got a name?
For the guy who found you in the caves?
It was a guy? Okay, yeah. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Do you need...
Yeah, it was Jericho Throon.
Oh. I claimed that his name was Jericho Thrune.
And we know the Thrune name, right? That hasn't been lost to history.
That'd probably be a household name, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially in quarantine.
As foreign spies, you were found by the leader of Agorian, and how did you survive that?
That's
a question
what we'd like
that
to know.
Yes. And where our 3 friends will have gone. Wait.
Yep.
Yes, 3.
Doesn't know anything about that.
Low rolls.
Yep, rip. Do you think they defected?
No. Well, maybe 2, but not 1.
Why are you so sure?
Because she was a devout follower of the cartographers, a devout member. And she saved our lives. Someone who'd defect so easily wouldn't have done what she did.
Well, if she passes through, I can let you know, I suppose. What did she look like?
Nihilus will offer a description of Dina and offer up her name as well.
Okay, what's the description?
Shit, you're asking me something I don't remember.
I think you're just making it up. Did we ever actually get a description?
Yep, she had a token.
She had a token. Did she look like her token?
Yeah, pretty similar.
There's a good chance she had brown hair.
He wore a mask.
Yeah, I don't think Nihilus can actually offer a decent description because she wore a lot. She was had a lot of clothes on and wore a mask. So best he can say is I don't even know. It's been so long since I've seen her token.
Give me a second. Actually, I haven't even put it in Foundry, so I will throw it. This was her token.
Hey, I was possibly right.
Yeah, she wore gray clothes that were rather heavy. She had a ceramic mask, but not one-eyed, and wore a hood. She was, obviously a woman. Good with a bow. But as far as facial features, an accurate description, that's the best I can say. The ceramic mask she wore had a symbol at the forehead.
He points up at the one above the mantle. Like this one.
Would that match?
I mean, it doesn't have the mark over the forehead, and it only has one eye, but otherwise it's almost identical.
Nihilus nods and says, aside from the mark and the missing eye, that's about her mask.
Oh.
Question, how exactly is the eye missing? Is it just not there, or is it like cracked off?
No, it's like it's a full mask. Like it's ceramic over it. It doesn't look like it was damaged or anything. It's like
So it just doesn't have an eye built in.
right.
Okay. Then yeah, aside from the missing eye and the missing symbol, that was the mask.
But no description of her face.
Never could see her. Never took off her mask.
Let's do.
Oof.
No. No, it couldn't be. Well, I will keep an eye out.
Thank you.
Norm, we really appreciate everything you've done for us. But I think we've taken enough of your time today. If you don't mind, depending on how long we're here, I'd like to come back and visit. Maybe trade some more stories with you. They don't all have to be as dark and dreary as the previous one, but like I said, you're by far one of the most interesting people I've met out here.
Nihilus chuckles and says, I could tell you the story of my mother and me.
He really likes telling that story.
Maybe too much.
Definitely too much.
It keeps the fire alive.
Plus, Razzie certainly likes stories.
Don't you, Razzie?
They're a bit of a storyteller themselves.
And you could say.
So, having some nicer things to share with my group might be nice.
But as far as the story you told us, as agreed, aside from our group members, no one else shall hear from it. I swear on the vengeance I have against my mother that no one else will know.
Ooh, that's a big swear. Yeah, that secret ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
But, if it's okay with you, I'd like to visit more often.
Oh, absolutely, I enjoy the company. And, be careful out there.
As Val finishes her drink and gets up to leave, she asks, while collecting the dishes of everyone else, if there's anything that they could do around the house to help him out.
And Nihilus will finish his drink.
So, I wouldn't want to be a bother. I haven't much to do.
You're no bother. Call it an equal trade.
Trade. It's been so long.
Yeah, kind of nice, isn't it?
Says the occasional visit is, I find uplift for my day.
Well, I'll be sure to pop on by. But, if we ever disappear one day, you know why.
Well, of course.
And, oh, go ahead.
I can't, I won't be able to facilitate a form of escape. If there is anyone you would need to know, I could facilitate a communication.
Wait, you mean outside?
It takes some doing, but I think I still have it.
Val, let's hold off on even considering that right now. We need to discuss who exactly we'd want to contact as a group.
Oh, I would need some supplies, so...
Hey! Tell you what, Nihilus, high or low?
Always high. Ooh. Question mark.
Okay. Val is at the edge of her seat when he says this. But Nihilus, somehow you managed to reel her in.
Of course, you do have to know where they live.
Okay, well, that changes things a little bit, but... Well, maybe our chronicler can do something with this. We'll talk it over with our group. What are the supplies you'd need?
There are some specific flowers that grow in the swamps. I
Sure
basically
thing.
just have to process them into an ink.
Well, we happen to know a little girl that's very good at finding flowers.
Did the group before us ask for this? The one that had Val's brother?
Oh yes, he did. And he shuffles over to like a cabinet and opens it up. And he pulls out a little note and he brings it over to Val.
Val's gonna stop before she even opens it and produce her letter and hand it to him. Was it this?
He takes it and opens it. I hadn't even I hadn't even realized.
She's gonna open the note he gave her.
It's the same letter. Except this one is handwritten, but it's not Drix's handwriting.
She gets out of her chair and gives him a big hug.
He seems surprised, but he returns it. He says, okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now you know how you got the letter.
She lets go of him and takes both the letters. Yeah. Now I guess I do. Man. Sure took it a while to get here though.
Oh, it's not. It's not instant. It has to. I've sort of been spending my time paying attention to the magics in the area, and I picked up a signal of sorts.
Okay, Norm. This is a big one. Would you be okay if we came back tomorrow with our chronicler?
Well, that's fine. I enjoyed the company.
She looks to the rest of the group. I don't think this could have possibly gone better, guys.
I believe it's time for us to go and meet back with our friends.
Norm, I promise you, we're gonna be back tomorrow, and every day that we're in town until we leave.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And we'll share with you as many stories as you wish to hear.
You just have a list of those ingredients ready for us tomorrow, and we'll go bring the flowers to you as soon as we can.
Oh, of course. I have to find a pressed one, and that'll show you what you're looking for.
I have a feeling. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
did we not grab any of those flowers?
You have no idea what flowers he's talking about.
Yeah, but the ones we found, did we grab any of those? Val, did you happen to pick up any?
I think they all went to the little girl.
And the chronicler. Sophia has most of the stuff that we've gathered on the road.
Yeah, I think she only kept some to press anyway.
But yeah, we're gonna cut this short out of character.
Okay.
And head out for the night. Say our goodbyes and all that.
Okay.
As we're leaving though, and heading back to the house, Val is going to give an order to Razzie and Nihilus.
All right.
The order is: Sophia cannot know about the portals.
Then we keep the story to ourselves.
We have
That's
to.
a big ask. That's important information.
Razzie.
I think.
Razzie, we made a promise. If Sophia learns about this, she has to chronicle it.
We made a promise to keep it within our group, and she's part of our group.
Razzie,
Sophia can't keep that promise.
exactly. As our chronicler, it is her duty to report back everything. Everything, which means we'd break our promise to him.
It's
What
not
if we
her fault.
If we simply redact that bit of info, but give her the story otherwise?
If we tell her any of the story, she has to mark it down.
Nihilus is like, I'm not killing my mom for this.
Razzie, I understand. Really, I do. When I realized that we couldn't tell Sophia about this, it hurt.
Ooh.
You say, Val.
It's the reverse
for the
shoes
greater
on the
good.
other foot now.
Razzie,
Yes, Nihilus.
I don't quite know how to put this. I know you've already agreed, but it would really be for the best if we kept quiet about this for now.
We can share some details, but we can't tell the story. All we can tell to the group are the things that will help us. But anything that he told us that was part of his story, they can't know.
We swore under oath of a zone of truth. We swore under some kind of spell.
That's fair, but
Razzie, this is
You
an order
underst-
from your commanding officer.
oh, I completely agree, but I can't imagine that Sophia won't ask him his story herself tomorrow.
We will have to inform him of what a chronicler's job is before she does that. It's only fair.
Or at the very least, it'll be up to him to tell it again.
So be it.
Look,
Thank you, Razzie.
I don't like it any more than you do, believe me. Now I know how she felt when she couldn't tell me that Drix was involved with this mission. There's a lot of trust that we have to have for each other in this group. Desna knows that there's a lot of trust that you guys have to have for me and Sophia.
As
Just
long as it'll most benefit the group, I will keep Sophia out of the know.
everyone. Everything that happened today stays between us. Leave it to me to figure out what we tell.
Involving the story.
You hear that, short stack? Don't go yapping that big mouth of yours,
Your dog?
No, short stack is the armadillo.
armadillo.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, guys. For what it's worth, I'm getting the feeling that we've probably had the most productive of the group.
I don't know. We haven't talked to him yet.
Well, it's rare for us to have a stroke of luck like this.
I like
But
that
hey-
Val just leaves. She's like, "Oh yeah, we did the best."
But hey, Val, you got information on your brother, and I got some on my mother. I know what sort of masks to look for now.
Wait, so if I understood that right, your mom was a cartographer? I mean, well, not a cartographer. She was, obviously. But, you know,
Yeah. Why do you think I joined?
well, yeah, I knew that. Same reason I joined. And we're walking and talking, by the
Yeah.
way. You think
joined
I would have...
because the Pathfinders didn't call back?
Are the Pathfinders even still around?
Oh, please. They're the
Look.
greatest. They're the greatest organization on the planet.
Nihilus, I want to thank you for keeping me in check there.
You're welcome.
If I'd had my way of it, I would immediately ask to try and get something to Drix.
I understand. But we definitely have to consider who to send that information to, and further consider what information we send.
Before we head inside, Razzie, there's something you should know. All the guys that were with us before, they already know. But it's fair that you and the newbies do. When I find my brother and I make sure he's safe, I'm leaving.
That's totally fine, Doc. Now you have other journeys ahead of you, just as we all did.
Well, see, that's my thing. I wanted to know if the rest of you guys wanted to come with me. Break
Let's-
off from the cartographers.
Val,
No, I'm
First.
serious, Nihilus.
first, let's see what happens when we get there.
Yeah, that bridge is quite far away.
Yeah,
Second,
well, nice to look to the future.
I presently need the cartographers to find my mother.
Hey, I didn't say I wasn't going to help you.
That is true. Let's cross that bridge when it comes to it. But for now, we have what we need. And I am happy.
I
And we
also
will.
really wanted to map out Arcadia, but that's more of like an unrealistic dream.
And we will open the doors to the house.
Quickly, Nihilus will say, hey, we can still do that even if we're not part of the cartographers.
Real quick, I'm gonna lean over to Sophia and I'm gonna go. Maybe we shouldn't tell them about anything we've learned today. At least not until.
Everybody gets back to the house and be like, I didn't learn shit.
This place is fucking useless.
We gotta trust that
You
the group
guys, I'm gonna
trusts
go make a
us
boat.
Yeah, I
to
guess,
know that they
guess
didn't
we're
need this
stuck.
info. Don't tell Val we wouldn't talk to Anne's family. Just tell Val she's an orphan.
Do we want to end for the night, or
Yeah, sure. You want?
up to you guys?
It is 10 o'clock.
In-game time, about what time is it?
Like just afternoon.
Okay. Yeah. We can end for tonight. As soon as we debrief, I'd like to go get acquainted with the carpenter and get started on boats.
Let's save the debriefing for next session because we have a lot to talk about as a group. But I am marking down what we did this session so that next time we know what to go for.
Okay. Alright, I'll go ahead and kill off old Strema.